host or something. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go to like the,
For the camera
open up the people
and the mic and recording
Yeah.
only you.
and then like,
Mic, only you are right.
yeah.
You're not in here yet.
It's weird. Well, I can see you.
Are you Tom Caffeine?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Right, excellent, thanks. Let's see if it's, meeting is being recorded, that's good.
Transcribe too, so I could send you all this info.
And of course, it's not giving me my stream option though, I don't know why.
Did you find your painting?
That could be a problem.
No, not yet.
Hmm,
Trying to finish some stuff inside the house and paint in.
You know, I
Let's see.
Ask to start video.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna be it. I'm not seeing streaming options since I didn't set it up. That's why I told her we needed to go with mine. We'll have to deal with it later.
That's what you got for sure.
Because I can't do it.
I can't find
And
your
then-
or the harbor committee
It's
representative.
You
fine.
want to see if it changes to make you the host rather than co-host?
Well,
Yeah, you can try it. I don't know if that will matter or not. I'm worried that my guest isn't in here, so I need to send her the,
Is this quarterly thing supposedly?
somehow send her this link.
No, I think we decided Harbor was twice.
Twice a year.
Here. That's the most important thing for her.
And we'll meet.
You're by 10 o'clock. Yeah. So. You gotta put one word on each of the pages.
How many tests came after you?
Oh, that's good.
There's seats here, you know.
I'm a backbencher, you know, just, I don't like.
How'd you get there?
It's not me. They used a different link than I had, so I'm trying.
How's that new traffic?
I have a feeling our engineers have the town's link that was on here and it's not there, so I am not.
Lot better than
Yeah.
He's.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on, here, we don't have our engineers, so.
How's the better half? Well, yeah. Hey Greg,
Copy this.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Send her this.
Derek, do you need help or a link from Rachel for it?
No, I have it. I'm now, our engineers have a different meeting link, I think. That's why they're not here. Yeah. So, records.
Read the bird, you gotta be very careful with everything. You gotta read, really pick it around, go around.
Sorry, talk together.
Really check in.
Yeah.
Anybody need?
When I get in trouble, I
Derek,
go-
do you have one of these?
No, I don't.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got one? Does anybody need?
Thank you, Zach.
Remember those?
That's for Derek. Thank you. Xander, do you need one?
I'm good.
Pen and frame.
Yeah. Andy, type it really not.
Right, signature.
W J York.
They're zooming in, but they have a different meeting link because I had.
Yeah.
Set up one, so I can't stream or do anything else.
Play with it for a while. You can- you'll-
But they had.
That's how I came to that. Just sit.
So, I'm like, all right, as far as I know, Dan's gonna be one of the engineers, and I'm just waiting for the engineers to get what I just sent them. Right.
Yesterday.
Give it a minute here, see if they join us.
Tuesday.
Identical. Brain.
Technical, I don't know.
I thought-
But I don't think. I have moved. What you doing?
It's weird.
20 minutes.
But when we took that corner apart,
Yeah.
we gotta see more, whether it's, I don't think it's important.
Alright.
And I didn't think it 19,
Cash should be the
Right.
island is in the room.
No, that's
we
me.
did it
Which is Lisa
umpteen years
Beckers with
ago.
I don't know
GEI.
what happened there. Sorry, I had a
Oh,
meeting.
right, we're good
And
now.
it's a
So
beautiful
GEI
picture.
is here.
I had to send them the link
I
that they
think-
had, right?
It's not gonna be called
It's recorded, but it's not being streamed, so you know.
town meeting to order.
Ooh.
Then, woo, let's go. Thank you all for being here with me, and thank you to GEI for being here this morning, and you are the. Well, we do have a forum, is here and there, and Craig is here and. you're here, and, so our first thing on the agenda is an update from GEI on the town waterfront. So, you're on.
All right, hi, I'm Lisa Vickers with GEI. I have a few slides I'm gonna share, just to give an update here. Hey, can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So just to give a brief update about the assessment and feasibility design study, and to introduce myself. So I'm Lisa Vickers with GEI. We have a project team here in our office consisting of some engineers and scientists. And we're also partnering with the Musson Group to help with the community engagement portion of the project. So the project, oh, can you hear me okay?
If that's any consolation.
Can you tell Lisa that?
Yeah, hold on. Hey.
Is there a second?
You wanted to do its update.
Hold on. Hey, Lisa, just so you know, you're on pause. They went down, so give me a minute.
Okay.
It's-
The TV thing is more important.
Probably. Oh, now.
Could be some new cable channel.
Hold on. I gotta mute.
Be present. Okay.
All right. All right, let's,
There.
yeah, hey, talk amongst yourselves because I got it muted still. All right, good, we're back. No, all right, Lisa, you're back.
I'm back, okay. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, okay, great. I'm not sure where I got paused, but, so I'm Lisa Vickers with GEI. We have a project team in our, internally here in the Portland office, with scientists and engineers looking at this town dock area. And then we've also partnered with the Musson Group, Noel Musson, and some of his staff to assist us with the community engagement portion of the project. So what our focus has been is reviewing some of the existing studies that have been done for this project area, and then looking at flood vulnerability, inundation, based on more recent data from what has been done in the past. There was a 2019 study that was done looking at similar project area, and we're kind of building off of that. So our focus area is the town dock area, obviously right next to Maine Maritime Academy. As we have put together some of the flood inundation maps, we're basing this off of the Maine Climate Council recommendations for sea level rise. And they just updated those values last year, 2024. And we're looking at it from a near-term perspective, a mid-term perspective, and then a longer term. So that encompasses current day, and then the midterm range is 2050 and 2070. And then also the long term is 2100. And we're looking at it from two perspectives, from the highest astronomical tide. So those are the tides you're going to see, about twice a year. And then the 100-year storm. So, a 1% chance each year that you'll see those storms, although those are becoming more common. So what we've put together are these initial draft inundation maps. And so this is the existing highest astronomical tide flood inundation map. And these are the tides that you'll see, about twice a year. And these are just the highest astronomical tide. I just mentioned that we're looking at the two elevations. We have not put together the 100-year on a map. We have it on a map, but we don't have it for public consumption yet. I mean, those are showing basically the entire dock area inundated. So just thought there was a little bit more value to this, as you'll see as I kind of scroll through these different maps as the boundary moves further inland. So existing, this is 2050, the highest astronomical tide. And the depth of water that you're seeing closest to,
Please,
yep,
sorry, are your slides supposed to be moving?
moving.
Are we supposed to be seeing different slides at this point?
Yeah, so you can see, is
They're
that not,
we're not seeing different slides.
Yeah, we're on the home screen still.
what are you on?
The assessment of feasibility design study, town of Cascades,
Oh,
January town again.
Slide 1.
that is
Yeah.
unfortunate. It's showing on my
Otherwise,
screen.
it is.
That is interesting. I noticed another board of selectmen that's not in the room. Is that the same for you?
Yes, same on yours. Right here, right here.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm seeing on mine.
Yeah, I just see the home screen. That's it.
Stop moving.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. Let me see, if I can, you know what, sometimes if I just go out and come back in, maybe.
Yeah, it might be frozen from when we went down.
Yeah, I wonder, let me see here. Sorry about that, glad you.
There we go.
Got a different slide.
There we go.
Yay.
Oh, okay, I wonder if it was just, frozen from before. Okay. You're gonna see that same slide again. Hold on, I gotta try to see if I can scroll here. Can you see that
Mhm.
town dock area?
Yeah, that's a home screen.
No,
Home screen.
Oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna go out of the presentation mode and just show you from the where's the I don't know what's going on. Okay.
These
are the
presentation.
How about this? Can you just see this? It won't be presentation mode.
Yes,
Do you-
yes, I can see
Town
it.
dock. Okay, we'll just do it from this, So town dock area. This is related to the sea level rise scenarios that I was discussing, the recommendations from the Maine Climate Council. And this is again, looking at the intermediate and high, so near term, midterm, and then long term. So here's our first map. This is basic current day highest astronomical tide levels that you see along the waterfront. And then as we move towards midterm, the 2050, you can see the water's moving further with in the upland on the town dock area. And the depth of water on this slide would be about half a foot to a foot right along the water's edge. Less, as you move further back, it gets less deep. 2070, again, you're seeing it even further. That's about 1.5 feet along the water's edge. And then when we get to 2100, that's about 3 feet along the water's edge. So these are our draft inundation boundary maps that we have. And so what we've done when we signed on, we've again been looking at some of the existing studies, compiling a GIS database, coming up with a list of assets. And then our next step will be hosting a community forum January 30th. So we're gonna meet at the town dock area for high tide, take a look We'll go back at 4, looking at it at low tide, not quite at dead low, but we'll be there around low tide just because we're concerned about the light that we'll have. And then folks can come for either one, both, not come at all to the actual site visits. And then we'll have the community forum at Emerson Hall that evening. And so we're currently working on kind of comprising a list of stakeholders that we'd like to target outreach for, MMA obviously being one. The point of the forum will be to hear from the community. So what's important, what are assets along the town dock area that, you find to be a priority, and, if you have adaptation strategies that you've thought of, or ones that you don't, want to consider. It's just a matter to have a conversation to hear from folks in the community about what's important. So that's where we're at. And then I guess where we're going after the forum is taking that feedback. And our intent is to prioritize. Obviously, we have, limited funding for projects, and oftentimes, you're not talking about cheap projects, and come up with what are the priority assets and what are some adaptation strategies, and come up with some concept designs to consider for those priority assets. And in general, too, what we want to include is just general adaptation strategies, too. So not necessarily just targeted, but things for the town to consider as a whole, and not just maybe for the town dock area, but ones that you could expand upon for other parts of the waterfront and the town. So that's where we are at. And yeah, any questions or feedback? I'd love to hear from folks.
I have feedback mostly for Craig, Peter, whoever. I don't know where it was on your website, someplace, maybe it was during the presentations from last year that I talked about a phase 2 of the actual dock here, Maine Maritime, beyond the new dock. And whether you guys have plans yet for what you're going to do there, because one of the most important things of our study is to try to blend or be a cohesive design of some sort. So we're only as good as everybody around us, so we could build whatever we want along our waterfront, but then the water comes in the sides, then we haven't gained anything. So we're trying to find out what everybody's planning on doing around us also, so that we can either lock us in or have a prep plan for flooding or whatever this is gonna turn out to be.
Yeah, I don't think phase 2 has anything to do with much of flooding. It's mostly,
Phase 2 is more backland,
Yeah.
putting up utilities and things like that.
yeah,
So what do you plan on doing on your waterfront to keep that sea level rise from infiltrating your parking lot
that might be phase 4
Yeah.
that we haven't designed.
So
yet.
phase 4, okay.
We could work with the town on that one.
All right, so maybe you'll learn from us what you need to do.
Right, and I'll
Right.
mention today too, I had a call with both King and Collins' office lately. They are putting out their CDSs early this year. So it'd be a good time for Maine Maritime and the town to collaborate on something that both groups could need. We've been pretty successful working together the last few years. I think that probably makes some sense. You guys have some priorities in town and some things that we need, especially the jointly. So whether it's housing or whether it's, now's the time to look at anything on the table that you guys have on the table. We'll show what we have on the table. We haven't met yet. I just found out about that. But we put together our priorities for, I guess that'd be FY 26 CDS. So it'd be good for us all to talk about that.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I might make a statement. With my waterfront committee hat on. We are aware that you have, at the academy, has done studies of the seafloor bed and is prepared as you're building the pier out. And we were going to request that you might consider sharing some of that information with this organization so that as we build the plan for the town pier expansion, that we have some shared information.
We have no issue with that request. No issues whatsoever.
Anyone else?
You ever, there are internal discussions at MMA about future of Bruce Hall down there? Low line?
Well, there's a 2014 report on knocking Andrews down and building something back up, but
How's that going?
it hasn't gone anywhere, but we need to take a serious think about the future of that waterfront. It's been hard to do that with the focus obviously being the pier and the new ship. but now it's time to think about that. So we're open for collaboration. And that's a perfect example of what we can do working with the town and see what the town's longer term needs are in the waterfront and ours, maybe something more cohesive.
I have a thought. I mean, this is complicated stuff, and I'm just kind of asking myself, um, you know, should we have a separate working group that's meeting very regularly? Because this is this information is changing, and we're learning more as we go along. And we have our waterfront committee in the town, and we have our town and gown meetings. But it seems that if we're really talking about a collaborative project to re-envision the entire waterfront with both parties, it just seems that we're going to need real a lot of meetings, a lot of planning, a lot of discussion, because it's going to be a lot to work out. So I would advocate for some type of, maybe the waterfront committee from the town, and then there's a waterfront committee from the school, and they're meeting, once a month, a couple times a month, as we move forward.
Okay. Sandra?
Well, I think, and this is very much what this process is with GEI from the town's
Okay.
perspective, is to start to engage in that process. And GEI is expected with a plan that helps the town facilitate that engagement, whether it's a recommendation that says you need to be meeting twice a month or in
Okay.
some. I think that's the kind of engagement we're looking for in the public forum to start pulling these pieces out. And I would advocate that the public forum, these meetings that we're going to have hosted and facilitated by GEI is another opportunity for the academy to present the mechanism for which the town can make concerns known about peer projects. So if there's an opportunity to share again the contact point, we had talked in the past about a website where concerns can be emailed and so on. That forum, this one that Lisa had submitted as our potential request in the town on January 30th, is another place to start putting that information of how to gather all that information.
Okay. Well said.
Has the academy had any talks about the future of their seawall? I don't know how close that is to needing work anyways. So the part where the bone is recently done, and that's been upgraded. The rest of it is part of this project, so we get upgraded. And upgraded as far as new pilings and iron. How much higher? It's a bit.
And the community is interested in maintaining access to that beach as being a recreational piece in that bulkhead design.
Yeah, there's been lots of, our sailing team wants like a ramp to go down. There's been a lot of chatter, but we gotta get the thing built first, and then we'll get some sort of access. We like the beach too. That's where our kids do the ship jump and swim back in, so. I'm not sure about a ramp for sailboats to go down, but maybe it could be a bridge too far.
The new ship that was jumping off the bow.
Oh, I don't even know if they can jump off that thing. So it's a work in progress, and it's balanced down.
Well, and there's certainly sort of concerns that are coming through the harbor committee meetings about the transom of the ship and the approaches to the town dock, and that's all part of the information that we hope to be aggregating in these reports that GEI is helping us.
Yeah, we get nice lessons we can learn from SUNY and Mass too. We're both in fairly high current range, even comparatively to us, where SUNY's tied up there. There's a 4-knot current, Mass Maritime's Cape Cod canals, pretty hefty current in there too. So their boats go in and around their transom the way they've got a dock. So we're learning everything we can from them in advance, everything from steam, electrical operations, everything to do with ship. So
Back to the seawall thing, is there a time frame on when that seawall work is gonna happen?
Our phase two, so as you realize, we're working from in, so that will be 26,
Late 26.
late 26 and 27, be the last part of the project, a couple of years in.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have a question? Lisa, thank you so much for being here today and giving us that update, Sandra. And Bill, thank you for being here from the other committee. Does MMA have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, just I guess a couple of small items. You know, we had, I don't think it even made your desk, it went straight to the source. We had a contractor, speeding past one of the townspeople and vice versa this week, so. They got in touch with Reed and Reed, so they got that one back channeled. The person wrote the number down, called Reed and Reed apologized, and so it isn't just our kids, it's talking about everybody's speeding. I got passed on the road. Apparently I was going too slow the other day too by you know,
It's all over.
it's a lot of moving parts. But I want to ask, Ed, how many piles do we have in now?
An hour ago, 29. Been installed, 27 of those have been fired. To the depth where they'll start drilling. So what we heard yesterday and this morning is the peak of pile driving noise you're gonna hear down there. So it's, I haven't heard any complaints, and it's relatively quiet, so. It's not the big diesel steam hammers like we all remember from the use. It's a very different, much improved process.
I mean, to be honest, I was expecting it to be noisier, so.
And that's 27 out of 300.
We can always-
We have a ways to go. Okay.
Yeah, but it's moving forward.
So hopefully we'll start to pick up speed now. But,
The town would like to let you know a couple of things, or did you have something else?
nope, no, gonna hear what you're saying.
Yeah, we did have, Peter Coughlin from the Department of Transportation come and talk to the select board on Monday. And he gave, a really nice presentation about speed calming, he called it, which I thought was great. And he gave us ideas, everything from, yes, we could do speed plateaus. Some of which, well, up to Main Street, the state would help us pay for. Anything after that, of course, we're on our own. But apparently we do have a speed that flashes, but that we can turn into stealth. And as people go by, we'll capture the data as they're going, but it just won't say anything. We can be putting that around town in different areas, capturing some data, so. Talking about that. He also gave some interesting little ideas like, should the town stripe down the middle of our road? Because apparently psychologically that slows people down when they're trying to think to stay between the stripe and the edge. And then they don't drive in the middle. I'm guilty of driving. But they don't drive in the middle. And so that's another thing that we could consider. So he had lots of interesting ideas that. And we'd love for you guys to be a part of that.
I didn't know there was one with a flashing light or anything. Where's that?
And I'm not telling you.
Well, we have what we're gonna have to do, I've been looking since Monday, but I need a small trailer to be able to move that around and we'll fasten the solar panel. Interesting enough is that we acquired this and they say Peter actually picked it up for the town. I don't know, back in like 2019. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's 18 or 19.
Yeah. So, and they're like, how'd he do it? I said, I don't know. He works in Maine Maritime. Maybe he was in Augusta. I don't know. Did you go to a little class or anything on that? How to use that? Did you just pick it up?
No, Sean actually gave me their contact information from Bucksport.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't feel it, that's good.
I know people.
Thank you for picking it up.
Yeah,
Does
thanks.
it take pictures or should we
No.
People think that it takes pictures?
It doesn't take pictures. And it can say you're going too fast, or it can, I guess it can say the speed that we don't want. Apparently, we don't want to cause competition. But it can say, you know, or we can just turn it off and everybody, like me, will think nothing's happening when it's capturing at least half hour.
Yeah, if you notice. It's never, that is capturing data.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sometimes you can see the little blue dot on it. I'm like.
Sometimes it seems on if it's sunny, solar panel. Starts working. I saw, it seems to be the Hancock County Sheriff's been around a little bit more than often lately, and the state police have been here in town. I saw the little speed trap before Christmas. Got some people up by the golf course. So, but we were gone.
Great. Well, we'll keep talking about it, and we really want you guys involved in those conversations, and we'd love some student input as well.
Have you chosen a student ambassador yet? You were looking for one, weren't you, for one of your groups?
We would love a student ambassador, but we haven't
Okay.
come up with anybody to, if you have somebody to.
Yeah, we'll talk offline on
Okay,
that.
that'd be terrific.
Yeah.
Also, just so that you guys know, on the 27th at our work session, we'll be having a banker come to talk about financing housing projects. And hopefully we'll be having somebody from the Maine Department of Housing to come and speak with us about housing projects. So if somebody from MMA would like to be there, we could be grateful.
Yep.
So that we can start discussing housing. And the Hancock County Planning Commission put out this week, they did a housing assessment study, and they put that out this week. I just sent it to select board, and Derek sent it to me, but if you'd like a copy of that, I'd be happy to send it.
Yeah,
But,
that'd be good.
yeah, so we need to keep talking about all these things, because like you said, for the CDS, we need to decide where's the best use of the money.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything?
I just have I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, hang on, Dan.
It's okay, Dan can.
Just a question to MMA. We had a meeting yesterday about reducing the amount of solid waste that we're sending out of the town and looking at composting options. And one of the questions that came up is, does MMA compost anything? Does the compostable material go anywhere, or is it just going out with your solid waste?
No solid waste. So,
We've looked into composting several times, just hasn't. We haven't found the right way to do it. We had a woman from Blue Hill, I believe, was looking to maybe try to take some project that she had, but we just couldn't figure out a way to get it transported. We don't have the capacity to transport it. Our solid waste folks don't have the ability to transport it, so.
Okay, well, we're discussing options as we move forward. At least we know you're not doing it, and at least we know let me ask you this question. If transportation was worked out, or if there was a system worked out, would MMA want to participate in it?
We'd have to coordinate that through our food service folks. There is, again, it's quite a process to separate that stuff out, and what they found in the past is sometimes the separation doesn't always work great. We end up with forks and knives and things that aren't compostable in there. So I don't think anybody's against it. I think it's just trying to figure out the process.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amy?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up. I'm trying to think, it was one of our recent work sessions where we were talking about ideas for solar in the community. And there was a comment made that MMA might already be involved in a program of like the solar credits.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I think a number of us didn't know what that involved, and if we pursued some options, if there might be a way to collaborate and bring in MMA into the community with that.
So, if you remember a couple of years ago, there was a law passed with the net energy credits. And all of these solar companies that are building things across the state and part of this consortium,
We got in on the ground floor, I think it was 21, maybe 20 or 21. The University of Maine system, LLB, and I think both private and public industries that got in on this initial consortium. And I don't quote me on the number, but it's something between 30 and 40 different solar panels across the state that sell the energy. We basically get a portion of that back as credits that we're allowed to either use, save, get reimbursed for different methods. That program is that we're involved in this closed. There was a window that was open to allow folks to get in on it.
So now it's closed, but it's still active
It is.
for MMA for those that are in on it. Okay. Do you know the name of the company or the organization that's overseeing that closed program?
It was a state program, but it was all, like I said, there were between 30 and 40 of these solar farms across the state that all contribute their energy into that. So.
Hey, Pete, related to that, do you have any leftover capacity that isn't already tied up with that?
We are, I actually, when we signed up for it, I added extra capacity because of the ship.
Okay,
So we are pretty well maxed out. We're actually getting dangerously close with the ship, not here, or being over, and that could cost us money.
right, yes.
So we're trying to keep that close tight balance. We utilized it as much as we possibly could.
So on that point, you know, we're looking at different size systems on the by the transfer station, and one of the proposals was quite large, and the town would only benefit from about 30% of the production, if I remember the number correctly. So I guess my question is that if we built a large field at the transfer station, would MMA be interested in participating in that, either from helping to finance it or to get more credits, more reductions in your bills? I mean, remind me. I think it was going to be a 1 gigabyte system. I don't have my notes here.
Megawatt.
No, we're maxed out on being able to add credits.
Okay.
Like I said, if we took more, we'd actually penalize and it would cost us money.
Okay.
And I know people have asked why we don't put panels here on campus. It's for the same reason. We're using the solar credits from all the solar farms that are out there. So we don't have the capacity on campus to be able to add more things on campus because we're already using the solar power.
If we're actually prohibited from it.
Well,
Using solar panels and that.
Prohibited to the point that we'd be beyond our credits that we're allowed to earn. So.
Are you allowed to back out of that program and join another
No,
program? if you
we've got a
want?
20-year commitment.
Oh, it's 20 years. Okay,
That was part of when you signed up.
Yeah.
Part of it was financing these programs.
sure.
So it was a 20-year commitment.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anything? Okay, well, thank you all so much. I apologize that I'm always so gung ho on getting into the meeting. Should we go around the table and have everybody just introduce themselves quickly before we, so that we know, I think everybody pretty much knows it.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm Roberta, I'm on the select board.
Volunteer, citizen. Bill Corbett, I'm on the Harbor Committee.
Xander Parker, on the Harvard Committee. I'm also a assistant professor here.
Amy Gutierrez, Select Board and Registrar. Here.
Susan Maycumber, Town Clerk. Melissa, Finance Officer.
Rachel Gattoni, work in the President's Office and also Conference Department here.
Pete Stewart, the Director of Facilities and Campus Safety. Yeah.
Craig Johnson, interim president, Maine Maritime.
Scott Vogel, I'm the harbor master. Andy Stearns, fire chief.
Gary Goodine, Town Manager.
Andy Webster, Penobscot Bay Press.
And
That's got volunteers and helping the captain involving shipping here.
Peter Davis, Associate Vice President for Enrollment.
thank you all so much. Thank you for being here, Rachel. Thank you for doing the magic. And I guess we'll see you next month. Do I have a motion to adjourn? And Dan.
So moved.
Yeah, Dan Leader, Select Board Member.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Rachel, is it okay for us to stay for the select board to stay for a quick, you are abstaining.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I gotta, before we start that, I gotta go plug into that, start the other meeting. I'm just gonna go over there and plug in. Start our little meeting.
Hey, Roberta, I have a meeting here at 11. You guys can talk.
We will be done in like 20 minutes.
So, I'm on Rachel's, Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Dan staying on?
We
No,
don't have the GMR.
I don't think that, so Dan, I'm cutting you out, I'll send it a link.
Okay, I'm just gonna, be 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.